Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
We're so happy to have everyone who's tuning in joining us today for our live stream commentary of Cerulean Summer Episode 1.
Yay. Hi, everybody. Yay. Hi.
Yes. Been so looking forward to this. Oh, and I see lots of kind comments coming in here.
Hello.
Let me see. Yes. I see someone saying, let's party.
Let's party. Woo!
Go.
Friday night.
Yes.
Everybody have a drink in hand. We've got our water.
I mean,
Yes. Must stay hydrated.
for the evening.
Yeah, Philip was just telling me his beverage of choice tonight.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Nice. And Chloe is joining us. Hi, Chloe.
Hey.
Hey, Chloe.
Good. Yeah.
Ooh, the sky is a blessing in disguise. That is true.
Isn't that a gorgeous name?
Yes.
Mhm.
More
Like we have
creative
to use
than
that for something.
Hmm.
But yes, thank you so much for joining us. Today we're going to be watching the first episode together. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You know, just talking about some behind the scenes things and voice acting and whatever random topics happen to come up. And we'll also be open to audience questions or discussions along the way too. So don't be shy. There's no such thing as dumb questions. We would love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So we're about to go around the room and introduce ourselves in case you're not already familiar. But before we start, for those tuning in, I just wanted to say that if I ever have to pause and temporarily exit, it's because technology, and I'll just need to dip out for a second and get the video running again. So this is our first stream. So we're very excited. Yeah. And in the event that the stream were to, glitch out completely, hopefully that would never happen, but we'll continue immediately in a part 2. So in other words, we're not done until we say goodbye. We're doing this. So you stay tuned in. Anyway, my name is Keiko, and I'm the creator of Cerulean Summer. And Melissa, would you like to just take it from here and we'll go around the room?
Sure. My name is Melissa Del Toro Schaffner, and I play Minny in Cerulean Summer.
My name is Indi Schaffner. I play Charlotte in Cerulean Summer.
My name is Blake Cogdill, and I play Trace in Cerulean Summer.
And my name is Philip Sobczak. I also play Trace, but the younger version of him, specifically in Cerulean Summer.
That's right. And my goodness, what a cast. You're all just in a league of your own. So thrilled to be working with you.
We miss everybody else, but hopefully Chloe will be jumping on here, so you might see her come on as well.
Oh, yes. She has just dropped in, actually. Perfect timing before we start the episode.
Perfect.
Chloe, hello.
Hello, Chloe.
Chloe's coming from New Zealand,
guys.
Everybody. Say hello.
You guys are so funny.
Yes, Chloe. We were just and having everyone introduce themselves. So why don't you greet
cool.
the viewers and say who you play?
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Chloë, Chloë Elmore from New Zealand, and I play the lovely Sandra, the mother of the gorgeous Trace. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yes, you can see the family resemblance.
Of course.
Yeah. That's right.
Of course.
Yes. Sandra could have had blonde hair, if we wanted to. I think
Maybe she's a
just
natural blonde.
Maybe she is. I'm not a natural blonde. My natural hair color is Sandra's. It's a dark brown. Anyway, I rebelled. I wanted to brighten things up.
Yes.
You pull off blonde perfectly fine. So
Thank you.
That's so fun. Oh, and Dakota's joining us too. Hey, Dakota.
Yay.
Dakota. Yay.
The secret's out.
Yes.
It is out.
Mm-hmm. All righty, guys. Well, we are going to just be starting our first episode in just a second. This is the first time we've actually watched it together as a team. So this is fun. Yeah, we'll just be talking anything that comes up. So are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Ready whenever.
Okay. Kind of let me know about the volume. I was telling everyone earlier, I think I'll keep it pretty low just so you can hear us nice and clearly, since we know the story ourselves quite well. But let me know if it needs to go up or down or anything like that.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Sounds awesome.
Okay,
Can't wait for
dim
it.
the lights. Here we go.
Entertainment.
Let me back this up. This is Josh Lambright actually voicing the logo. He's
I was
amazing.
wondering about that.
Yeah, we go way back. He is awesome. Love him to pieces. Okay, here we go.
MLA Entertainment.
How's that volume? Too loud? Too quiet?
Pretty good. Sounds nice.
Perfect. Perfect.
Good.
It's like being at the theater, the movies, with you guys.
It is, isn't it?
This is a stream along, right? That's what it
Let
is.
me ask you a question. Just
I love
between
Melissa's opening monologue here.
you and me. Others, it's their family. Or
Now,
maybe
Melissa,
their
I'm curious.
keepsakes.
Did you have? And if we see the video blink out a little bit here and there,
Some memories.
slight connection delays. But I'm curious, Melissa, what
Always
were you
close
feeling,
my
especially when
eyes
you
and
read this monologue?
Return to a better time.
Because it's the first thing we hear.
a time I cherish.
You know, I didn't
The
give it
summer
much
of my
thought.
youth.
I just went with it.
The summer
I
of
knew the first
Cerulean.
note was the most important
The
one,
summer when
and I just
Yes.
gave it to you from
we
my heart.
first met.
Oh my God. That
I
came
love
through so
that-
beautifully.
I love that it starts with a question, you know, like this, it's a very nostalgic vibe. That's what we're going for, this sort of island time nostalgia. And I just love that there's this question of thinking back, you know, when you ask a question to someone to reflect and think back, there's this, you know, nostalgic
Yeah.
moment.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I really wanted to kind of invite the audience to participate. I really believe starting a show off really strong with the opening shots. And I wanted to convey sincerity and beauty, which is kind of what the show is all about. Yeah.
In my opinion, it's also been a very long time since I've actually seen like this kind of classic opening for like any like show or audio drama or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. I'm so thrilled with how this turned out. It's performed by Shoyun. Very, very talented singer.
She's very sweet. I connected with her on Instagram.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, she's such a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's really nice. So
Yeah.
Leo is on the wings, right?
He is the only actor who I've confirmed. The other ones, I'm hoping to make a final decision this weekend.
Yay! We have
So-
a Leo.
We have a Leo.
That's so cool. So cool.
Be joining the fam soon.
Indy says don't make the fam too big, but I say make it huge.
More the merrier.
We can't have a
June
small
2000.
family. That's not possible.
Before
Yeah.
my junior year,
Yeah.
I went to
There'll
spend
always be the
summer with my
OG members,
grandparents
though.
in a
There'll
small
always be the
coastal
first
town
core.
called
There's a
Cerulean.
Yeah,
special
that's true.
bond, you know.
Yeah.
The core family.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a
Yeah,
flight
as you
attendant.
Please fasten your seatbelts and
That
make
is-
sure your tray tables are in their full upright position.
I love,
Lovely.
you
That
know,
is Jayme Mantos.
I flew
Jayme.
all
With
the way
your,
from Egypt to meet my grandparents at the airport.
with your casting, Keiko, I love that you obviously really pinpoint people that you've heard and you know about. You do this really proactive search for them, and you're not sort of necessarily just sitting back waiting for auditions to come in. And I don't know who's got the role of Leo, but like you know, just
Thanks, Papa.
you handpick people, and I love that.
Aw.
with me.
Yeah, casting is one of my favorite parts of the whole process. And so even when I'm holding public auditions, I really believe
Cerulean's about
in
an hour's
keeping my
drive
eyes
out from the
peeled
city.
for what's out there. And if I'm not receiving, this particular vocal tone or spirit I'm looking for, I'll look around and see if I can find anything. And that's definitely the case with you even.
From place to place.
I happened to run across your work and I was like, this is Sandra, I think. I've got to reach out and audition.
That's kind of what I was wondering. Like, it feels so much fun to like listen to all these different casting, what people think about, and what they do in like instinctually for casting. How
I had spent several
how
summers
interesting
there
is it,
when
and
I
how
was little,
tiring does it get to
and
be
during
like
middle
listening
school.
to the same lines over and
My
over and
memories
over
of
again?
Cerulean hadn't faded in the
Oh,
slightest.
I enjoy it. I
The
never
steady
get
music
tired
the
of it
cicadas,
because
the lush green
everyone has their
hills,
own unique
the little houses
fingerprints
painted every
creatively.
shade of the rainbow.
And so even though
with
it's the
all
same
the
lines,
windows
no one
swung
reads
open,
it the same
the
way.
sound of
And
children
that's really
playing
fun
in distance, and the smell
really
of something
touching also.
delicious,
And
always
so
lingering in the air.
I listen to them all, just like the
Something
current
about that
casting
coastal
call.
town
I
always
listen to
put
every
my mind at
audition.
ease.
Wow.
Somewhere
Wow.
to remember.
Every audition.
That was the
That's a
Some
lot.
casting directors do not do that.
that
They'll listen
was
to the first 2
exactly
seconds and
what
they'll
I
know from
got.
the get-go. And so for you to listen to all of them, that's
Wow.
it's
Totally
it
true,
shows,
too. Whew.
yeah.
Yeah.
It shows
Yeah, and we
it
got
shows
hundreds for this last call.
Wow,
so.
wow. It shows that
Yeah.
you like you know that these people have you're honoring their time, because we voice actors we might give anywhere from 5 minutes to like 5 hours to an audition, depending. And so it's really sad when you're like, when I've given my heart and my soul to an audition, especially for an audio drama, you get really raw. And usually for me anyway, audio dramas is quite raw. And to know that no one's going to listen to it, or that I've bled into this for maybe 5 minutes or 20 minutes or something, and they're just going to go delete, it's sad. So I'm glad that you do honor their time and energy and effort people have put into it.
Oh my
And
gosh,
as you
this
know,
is perfect.
sometimes your first take
breaking
is
the
totally
expensive
different from your
cameras Mom
second
and
read
Dad
through.
get me,
And so they may just
I'm planning on
discount what
replacing
you're
them.
looking for is later in the file.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally. In fact, a lot of the time, my first take is more like my warm up, and my second
Thanks
is
so
like the
much.
fun one.
I'll take
And
pictures
so
of
I'm
Yes.
learning to like reverse them and go, let's
guess
put
I
the
should
fun one first,
probably
because that might be
unpack
the only one
first.
that gets listened to. And usually the first one is the kind of safer option when you're just sort of exploring the script. So yeah, it's like
we're having your favorite.
the second one is
fish and
probably
chips
the better one to listen to
Cerulean
anyway.
style.
Yeah.
Think you're up to
That's
It
stomach
true.
really
pulled out
is. It
until
really is
then?
true with these audio dramas too, because
sounds
you
great.
like you said,
I've
you
still got
bleed your
half a
heart
bologna
into it. You
sandwich,
pour your
so
your heart
I'll
and
be
soul
fine.
into the whole thing,
I
because
think I'll go shoot
there's
some hoops
not
down by the
usually a
school.
visual to go
See you
along
later.
with the audio drama.
See
It's
ya.
just mainly like podcast form. So you really do have to present everything in the audio that you have.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This one's very, very, very special because of the gorgeous visuals, really
And also
captures this
And the
nostalgia.
top-notch humming.
Man, this hill still has
Yes!
yes,
We're waiting for the first studio album, Melissa.
The
How
Sobers
embarrassing.
award-winning humming.
Seven
Yes.
And the fun thing is those were 2 separate takes, and I just put them together, so we had a longer amount of humming.
Oh,
And
that's
so it was
funny.
just so perfect.
What are they called?
I love that.
Bichon.
I'm curious, Melissa,
Bichon Frise,
what was your
right?
process for finding Minnie's voice emotionally
Wow.
and sound-wise?
You
I know this
totally
has come
smell
up
my
before,
bologna
how
sandwich, don't
even in
you?
our last session, you were like, so just
Here,
really just
knock
be me?
yourself out.
So could you
Yeah.
tell us more?
Wow.
I mean,
You
when
really
somebody
like
tells
this
you just
stuff,
to be
don't you?
yourself, it feels wrong because it feels like, but I'm a
Dude, what
character.
the-
I'm not good enough to just be myself.
I'm all out.
But
Ever
truly,
That's
I
deep.
mean,
personal space.
I know, right?
You little baloney monster.
You little baloney monster. That's my favorite line, by the way.
There you are.
I love Portillo and Minnie.
You little
Oh, and there's
baloney monster.
Blake.
Yeah.
I
first
locked
moment.
eyes with a
Wait.
tall, skinny boy. I
But
guess
I
to
don't
be
know,
around
I guess
my age.
I thought
His
about
thick head of
myself
hair
in
was so
college
blonde
and
that
how
I
I
fought
was.
the urge to stare out
Yeah.
of
Oh, there's
sheer
my sister,
admiration.
Diana Lowe. Yay! Whoop,
Sorry
whoop.
about that.
Shout out to Ava and Coco.
That's okay. He sure is
Hey.
crazy about baloney.
Yeah.
Aw, that's
He loses
sweet.
his mind over it.
Yeah,
He's
that's
such
cool.
a pig. I named him Porco.
But yeah, I mean, my own voice was just like sort of a revelation. Like, wow,
Minny, by
I
the way.
actually could
Trace,
play somebody
nice
like
to meet
this
you, Minny.
with my own
Did you just
self.
move here?
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Because
only
it's
staying
similar
here with my
to with
grandparents for the
Chloe,
summer.
how
parents
I
are in
ran
Egypt.
across her work by
Whoa, that's
accident
really
and
cool.
had to reach
I
out.
always wanted to
Same
go
thing with
there.
you.
They're
I ran
archaeologists,
across
so
your
they
voice completely
kind
by
of
accident when I was
travel a lot.
researching audio
I thought
dramas.
I'd switch
Oh,
things
yeah.
up
I
and stay here
You
for a
had the
little
vocal
while
tone
instead.
naturally because you were just being yourself in an
I
interview.
used to come here a lot
And I had to
when I was
reach out
younger.
to you to
How
audition.
old are you, if you don't mind
And
me asking?
you were exactly
16.
what I was
I'm
looking
a
for.
Sagittarius, if
That's
you're
so
into
awesome.
star
And I'm
signs.
not
Sorry.
17 anymore, so
Completely
that was
inept.
pretty cool too.
But I've always been curious
Yeah, to
about
kind of
them.
step back into the past.
I'm 16 too.
That's
My
the
mom
beauty
and
of
dad moved
voiceover,
here.
you know?
I was
And
going
we
to
became
say that
friends
because you
then,
couldn't necessarily
for
do that
the
on
summer,
stage
I mean.
and certainly not on
Sure.
screen.
I was
But
just
in
hanging out for
voiceover,
court.
like you can
Wanna
get away
shoot
with,
some hoops?
anything, you know.
Totally.
Yes.
It's
There's a
just
court by the
the
seawall.
world is your oyster. It's such a
been
playground
forever
to
since
play
I
it.
last played,
And like,
so
I don't even
I'm probably
remember what it's
rusty.
like being 17. So to be able to go,
That's okay.
yeah, what was it like to kind of get a perspective of that? I bet you found that as well, just going, wow,
Come on,
to
Porco.
kind of reflect back in your own way on what it was like to be
Did I
16.
Brings back the
something
nostalgia
wrong?
over and over again.
Trace, I think Trace does an amazing 16-year-old. I was like,
Yeah.
Yes.
you're not 16?
I was actually like, wondering like how close like it's kind of freaky from vocal notes and vocal tones just hearing it and hearing Blade's voice and how close or similar we are in vocal tone at the very least.
It's crazy, right? Now you see what the thought process
For
was with
sure.
casting. And by the way, Daniel, who asked, was the dog's name a Ghibli reference? It certainly was. Porco Rosso. Little Easter egg in there.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even. Okay, I was typing in the chat and I didn't even realize that somebody did say about Porco's name.
I was wondering about that too.
That's
I was like,
crazy.
wait, Porco Rosso?
Do you
Huh?
mind if I take your picture?
Absolutely.
That's
When you know,
crazy.
you know.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
See,
I love
somebody-
this sequence.
So Daniel said, I knew it.
Three.
I
Got it.
knew it.
Thanks.
Busted. This sequence is really special because I really wanted to take a moment to just be mostly sound design and really
Yeah.
capture the feeling
was-
of
I
walking
was-
around.
I was
Yeah.
just about to say that the audio engineering and the sound design was just on par on peak with all this.
Aw.
timing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I love the cicadas. I watch a lot of Japanese anime, and there's this one sound effect for cicadas that they, or cicadas or whatever, cicadas that they use.
Yes.
But sometimes it's a little bit too much. I'm like, it's not a real cicada sound, but like you nailed the cicada
I'm
sound.
glad you like it, little
What
lady.
did I
That was
have in
very
my mouth?
important.
Did you have fun at the court?
What did I have in my mouth here?
Play,
Bread?
actually. I took lots of
Yeah,
pictures,
because you
though.
actually, you were so
I went to the
committed.
beach
You
and
had
collected
one
some
snack, like an apple or
seashells.
something, and then when you
Just
found
relax,
out you're
really.
eating fish and chips, you're like,
I've
okay,
missed this
wait,
place so
I gotta
much.
commit. I've got to have
And your
something that sounds
food.
more authentic.
I went back to the. I started shoving my mouth with
Some
like
new
bread
friends
and
some
stuff.
kids here.
Fish and
Method
chips.
acting. Oh my gosh. Wow.
My
I mean-
mom, when I
Sleeping
watched
over
it with
pages
her, she
soon?
loved your eating. It sounded
Oh,
so
good.
real.
Oh, good. Because it could go either way. It could be like, you could have taken the eating part out, you know?
Crazy dog named
It's
Portillo
kind
with
of
a
weird because that
baloney
kind of draws that like walks that like
I didn't get a
tightrope
picture of
of
them,
like
though.
is it
Making friends
too
already, huh?
too gross or
That's
not?
neat
Yeah,
for ya.
that's-
It's anything that's realistic, I think, is important. You know,
Yeah.
I think with like anime recordings, probably the voice actors like at Bang Zoom and Crunchyroll, they don't have time to actually get any food, so they've got to like you can hear them making it up. You can actually hear it so clearly when they're pretending to have something in their mouth, or maybe they have like an implement or something in their mouth that's not
I didn't
food,
do
and they're
much sleeping
pretending to
that
chew.
night,
And I
but
mean,
I
I can hear it.
did
I'm like, you're not
plenty
chewing,
of
you're not
staring
chewing,
at
you're not
the ceiling.
drinking, you're pretending to chug or
That's
guzzle,
a
and you're
pen.
not.
That's a pen in your mouth. That's a pen.
Well,
That is not.
Yeah.
I had
So
I had a
From the
recording-
pros, people.
I had a recording that I had to do beforehand, like not with this project, but with another one, where I was playing a beaten up character, and so I basically took one book out of another professional voice actors and just stuffed my cheeks with like tissue paper.
Cotton
and
wool?
everything.
Oh,
Cotton wool,
yeah.
tissue paper, whatever it is, just stuff your cheeks to make it sound like you're beat up, like you're up in cheeks and everything like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's commitment. Oh my gosh.
This is
Yeah.
my room. Everybody enjoy it.
Isn't it beautiful?
I love the moonlight coming in. The
Our background
Moonlight.
artist
There.
is named Bosco, and he did a
Wow.
beautiful job with these
Listen,
backgrounds.
He is incredible.
Can I get
He
Bosco
is
to design
incredible.
my room, please? It just looks nice.
He should be. He is gonna go far. Like he needs to be in the big
It's-
shop, big
It's
time.
Bosco B0SCO or something on Instagram.
Yeah, I could definitely. I'll
Drop
make
his
sure he's
link.
linked in the description too.
Yeah. He's amazing. I couldn't find him, but Keiko got him to me.
Baloney.
Oh, thanks,
It's like
Perkin.
4 in the morning, you nut.
Now,
Don't
Blake,
you
I'm
realize
curious.
it's morning?
I would like to hear. Oh, and I meant to say thank you for stopping
That's
by,
weird.
Dakota.
You don't
Not a
want
word.
it?
But yeah, Blake, I'm
Then
curious.
what
What is
are
your
you
approach
barking
with
for?
Trace and kind of handling a character with this sort of inner conflict? Because he's pretty much a light character. He's
Is
very
it
sweet and
Trace?
friendly, but what a
Maybe he's
burden
trying
that he
to lead
carries.
me
So
to
what
it.
was your approach?
So
Oh,
there was a lot of thought that I put into Trace. especially for
better
those
not
who
be
know,
messing with
later
me,
in
dog.
the episode that we're currently watching, I won't spoil yet. I'll say more about it when we get to the actual moment.
Yes.
But there is a lot going on in his
It's
head
really coming down.
that
Slow
he
down.
doesn't get to show
Where in the...
or talk much about.
You're stopping here? The
But I still wanted to kind of bring that to my performance as Trace. Like, there's not wanting to be a burden. There's everyone worrying over him when he's the one who should be worried. But instead, he's the one who's having to comfort everyone else around him.
What are you doing out
It's
here?
a very
It's really dangerous.
weird moment. Also, thinking about pouring so much effort into this character. Also, yeah, Indi!
Who are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, there's Indi.
Let's go, Indi!
My
Oh, hey. Hi.
real tall, blonde hair.
Yes.
Look,
No,
she looks
Indi.
like her.
Right.
Your character. There's so much in store. You people have no clue. Stay tuned for
You
episode
gu-
2.
I love it. You guys on the screen, and then you guys on your Zoom screen. It's like, oh my gosh, oh my god.
Winning.
It's yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is Trace.
Yes. We've got Levi joining us too.
Don't worry.
But yeah, Indi, what did you think when you found out you would be voicing Charlotte, much less co-starring with your mom?
Well, it's kind of hard to map out now because I kind of forgot. I kind of forgot my exact
Hey,
reaction. but
that is so hard to do as a voice actor, trust me.
something I do know, I wasn't expecting it to be as big of a role as it is. Because
Yes.
sometimes she'll come up to me and she'll ask me, and it's just a minor role that only shows up once. And
Now you're a
I
main
only did it
character.
I only did it on occasion whenever it came up, so that was barely ever. But now we're here.
And we're here.
Effort, by the way, Blake, honestly.
Thank you.
The amount of significance my role has is like new. It's very new to me.
You have a lot of work to do, don't you?
It's amazing as well, like the connection. I don't really know. I haven't spoiled much for myself, but like the connection between, Minny and Charlotte, and you guys in real life. Like you can feel this, you can feel chemistry. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. You can feel connection. You can feel chemistry.
Thank you.
And you can't really buy that or. And I've worked with one child in an audio drama before. It was just me and them, and he was quite shy. It was sort of his second time doing it, and it was really hard to kind of get a good performance out of him. It was sort of like you have to dance carefully around him, but it's so cool, and you're so like confident, and you've got such great and natural instincts. I can't imagine anyone else doing it at all. You know.
Does your chest hurt? Trace.
Yeah,
I
she
was
did a really great
thrilled.
job as Proud.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, and that came out of the blue. Melissa, when she auditioned for Minny, she was just like, hey, I kind of have a daughter that's Charlotte. Would you like for her to audition?
Oh, yay!
I mean, that's what she told me. She said.
I know. I was like, would you
What a
mind if I
woman.
added her audition
wear
to
such a
mine? I mean, is
scary
that okay?
expression.
And you were like, please, the
With
more the
way she looked
merrier.
at me.
Yeah, because that's the thing with whenever there's a child in a show,
or
like
if I
cartoons or whatever, there's
volunteered for
people who
my
can
own
pull it off really well, even if they're grown-ups, but nothing beats an actual child's voice because their larynx is smaller. It's just different.
Yep.
And all
I was
the
amazed.
teeth configuration keeps changing, right?
I have absolutely no teeth and one are wiggly. One is wiggly.
One are wiggly.
And that's why you're perfect for this.
Trace's house was nothing
I
like
have
my grandparents' house on the Green Hill. Sleek and modern.
There's like one
Cardboard
big tooth
boxes
in the
scattered
front.
everywhere since they had only recently moved in.
Comically
The
large
scary,
tooth.
beautiful lady gave us towels and dry clothes.
Hey,
Oh, this
Keiko.
was when-
Favorite part
Yeah, go ahead.
was the hot
Do
cocoa.
we ever know what
Although, as I
happens to
drank mine
Trace's
and
father?
felt its
Did we?
warmth rush
Ooh,
from
wait,
my
that's a good question.
Oh, I'm
wondered
so
if
glad
he
you
had
bring that up. We
secretly
actually do.
poisoned it.
Good.
We're gonna learn about
good.
it.
We mostly
Don't
just
say
got
anything.
to
are.
each other.
No
And we
say-
actually,
spoilers.
Pretty awkward.
yeah, we touched the
She was
surface
wearing
on it.
scrubs and a
Actually,
long
I
black
believe in
ponytail
episode
that
4,
fell gracefully
and then
over
we
her shoulder.
really go into the
She
meat of
kept her
it
red lips
later in the
pursed
series
tightly,
when we're
and I
having
could
kind
have
of Trace's
sworn I
specific
never saw
arc.
her blink once.
So, yeah, Sandra's the way she is.
Trace
for a
popped
lot
out
of
her bubble
reasons.
and
We'll say
explained
that.
I had nothing to do with him.
I'm
ending up in the
curious,
ocean.
Chloe, what was your
And in
first
fact,
impression of
I
Sandra?
had rescued him
Because
from
you nailed all of her
His
different
mom
layers
gave me a
so
venomous
quickly.
gaze up and down.
Well,
before finally softening her.
I was set on that. So we had a cast
stone
interview
face.
last week, I think it was, and I really had to come out and confess that I read the script.
I want to thank you
Yeah.
for saving my son. You are
10 minutes before our live directed session. It's just often how
love
I
that.
roll. I've been told I'm a very, very lazy voice actor, but I do find that you can bring like a freshness, you know. And anyway, so when I was reading it before our live directed session, I'm not a mum. I'm not even dating anyone, you know. I'm as single as you can possibly get. I've never dated anyone. I'm 32 and I've been a single Pringle like my whole life.
Yeah, just not your thing.
So a lot of her life experience is not my life experience. But I think just when you go through life, you obviously care about people and you care about things. There are things I care about, and I was like, she cares about Trace more than anything else in the world. Whatever happened to her husband, she probably sees her husband in Trace. Trace is sort of the reason why she's here. She's a caring woman. She's obviously a nurse, and that can bring up, you know, you've got a gift of mercy and compassion. I think she probably feels that's her weak. Thanks, Maria Amelia Park. I will take you up on that offer if I ever feel the desire to borrow a child. Voiceover's my baby. But I think you tap into some level of similarity with your characters. There's a lot of differences, and I just go, what are my similarities? And I go, there are things that I really, really deeply care about. There are people I really deeply care about that I would die for them. Primarily my parents. So I think, and just like being present to each moment on the page. And because we did live directed sessions, so much just comes out naturally when you're reacting off your other, you know, co-actors. It's just so much of it is the other actors doing it for you, you know?
Here's baby Trace.
Yeah, here's baby Trace. Hi. Now, the thing with this scene is because we all recorded this in a group, but Philip wasn't able to make it for that group session, but I still directed him one-on-one. We just met at a different time. I was able to be his teammate.
Come on, boys. Go, go, go.
Yeah. Now, something I wanted to ask you, Philip, is you mentioned to me before how you actually had a similar experience to Trace in sports in the past. Would you like to say how this maybe affected your acting performance?
Yeah, so I didn't really play basketball or anything like that back in the day, but I used to be really into swimming, and I was on a swim team, state swim team actually, that got pretty far into that specifically. It was actually during the meet that I may have hit the Olympics if I actually hit that time specifically. And in the middle of it, my shoulder pulled when I was doing the backstroke on the IM, and I just could not go through it, could not push through it. And so that kind of killed me a little bit on the inside, saying that I had my chance and I couldn't make it. And so I kind of brought that out in this kind of scene right here, where I know how it feels to be like, just
when I woke up in the hospital,
kind of one path was just closed off to you,
basically,
not really with your permission. It just kind of happened, you know.
It just happened because it's just probably overworked or health-wise or whatever it is, but it's just something stopped it from allowing you to propel forward, essentially.
Lasts for a few seconds, but
absolutely
it's gotten worse and worse.
Now, me and Philip were talking about this before we went live, but because you are playing the younger version of Blake's character, would you like to tell us if you'd heard his voice ever before, and that if that affected how you voiced?
So no, this is completely like almost coincidental. I've never heard Blake's voice specifically before this even happened, and when I first heard Blake's voice here in the casting and everything like that, I was like, wait, what kind of stuff?
It's so similar.
It was weird. Like Blake, I honestly it almost felt like I found my doppelganger, Blake.
It's okay. I'm the long-haired version of you.
You're the me that I wish I could have been.
Oh no! Oh, that's so deep. Oh, Blake, he
going to be
did
my
such
last
a beautiful
summer.
job on the scene. Both Blake, everyone, the whole ensemble. I mean,
The
Blake, I
doctor
think
said
you
I've
actually
got
said
about
you were tearing
3
up
months
during
to
one of the
live.
takes for this scene, weren't you?
Oh, so many times. Because I
That can't be
forget
right.
if it was.
That's
No, this was when we all got to meet each other for the
How
first
can
time.
humans decide whether
That's when I got
someone
to know
live or
that
die?
Trace had this very
That's
terminal illness
ridiculous.
with his heart,
You
and
think we
immediately
want to
my
accept
view
it?
of him changed
You think we haven't
drastically.
exhausted every
Yeah.
Because
possible
now I was at
option
this
to
point
cure
where,
Trace's
oh,
condition?
I get to pour
This
so much of
has
myself.
been a
He looks like me.
lifelong
He just
battle.
looks
He
like
does.
me.
Mhm.
Like,
Fine.
and getting to
Just
see
one piece.
this character who looks,
If
sounds, and
Trace
acts just like me
Calm.
go through all of
Relax
this
yourself.
and not. Keiko's kind of evil. Keiko didn't let me know if he lives or dies at the end of the show, and
I
I don't
know.
know what to do.
Tell us,
Not
right?
telling you.
You won't
Don't-
tell us.
Mom moved
No,
here a
don't
couple
say
weeks ago.
anything.
No.
That's the raw performance.
I'm so sorry.
Exactly. Same with you,
I think-
Chloe.
I
Just
feel like
the
such an
rawness
idiot.
here. How did
It's
you
so
approach
good
such a
here.
heavy scene?
This is part of the reason why I don't like to over prepare anything, because when I'm reading through and going, oh my gosh, you know, it's sort of
Yep.
the first time it comes out of my mouth. I think you can find like a real raw, literally raw, you know, uncooked, unbaked, unthought about,
I
unrehearsed.
get tired
And,
of always being that kid.
And I think, you know, as voice actors, we want
to be
that.
normal
Why
friends.
why I'm an actor often, because I want to find those
I just
raw
can't do
moments and
that.
those characters who get right into the
Isn't
thick
there
of the
anything
messy
that
middle of
can be done?
humanity. And
Yeah.
I think this is, for me, it's like this is like the
can't
stuffing of
imagine
this
Trace
episode,
not getting to
sort of
live
this
his
moment.
life.
And yeah, I think audiences also want to hear when you can hear someone getting so raw, unfiltered. Yeah, so I hopefully this is the favorite part of many listeners as well as certainly as well as me.
So
Oh,
much.
for
It's
sure.
kind of like what
Climax.
it's kind
And
of like
AI
what Putin said.
cannot do this. Like this interplay we have with each
Yeah.
other,
Please.
AI
Yeah.
cannot even grasp what we were suffering while we were acting through this.
Sandra
And
drove me
You were
back to my
crying too,
grandparents'
Melissa.
house.
I was
remember.
crying.
The rain
I'm sorry,
finally
but Blake
stopped.
made me cry.
It
I'm
was
sorry
just a
from when I
10-minute walk,
watched all
tops.
this stuff, and I'm like, ah.
Just like before.
Well, there's
Yeah,
like,
well,
silent for the entire
oh,
ride.
there's so much.
I remember, Blake, you
Couldn't
would you
decide
like
if
to
Sandra
share
simply
actually a
hated my
wholesome
guts,
moment that happened to you
or
because
was
Oh,
so
of
depressed by our
course.
conversation that she
So,
couldn't find the energy to speak.
The first person I shared this
My
series to
questions
were my
answered
parents.
faster than
Mhm.
I'd anticipated.
So you can imagine
Well, thank you for the ride.
my mother watching
Good
this
luck with everything,
episode,
ma'am.
hearing
Really?
her son and someone who looks like her son say that he has a terminal heart
I'm
condition.
sorry for snapping
Right.
at you back
Oh,
there.
She
no.
was
just-
a little
I just
sad, to
get
say the
overwhelmed
least.
sometimes.
little bit.
So
Imagine.
it was like soon after she finished the episode,
I'm
I was
sorry.
downstairs like playing a video
I
game or
can't thank you
something.
enough for saving
And she
my
just
son.
came downstairs and
What
hugged
you
me.
did was brave and selfless. Thank you.
That is the power
You
of
were
art
our
right
angel
there.
Oh my
tonight.
gosh, yes,
Yeah.
unique art.
No,
Mm.
you're gonna make me
It's
cry.
okay, I'm
right
not
now.
Trace.
Greater
I
than
have a
me.
friend that I
care.
suggested
Going
watch
through what
this,
I'm
but
going
he's
through
going to
right
be
now.
going through open heart surgery, and then I thought,
hope
like,
you
oh
can
my gosh,
understand
am I
me.
stupid for like
Forgive my
referring
frustrations.
him to this
No.
No worries.
because I don't know
Can't
how it
even
turns out
imagine
either,
what that
guys.
feels like.
None of
That's
us
such a
know.
mini
Sorry,
thing to
you've been
do.
dealt
It is such a
lot
mini
in
thing to
hand.
do. Oh,
But
always
no,
the
but
good
no, I
people.
think that's beautiful. I would totally tell someone who's got
Not
a
always.
terminal illness,
Thank
because
you for your help.
this is not, this is
Honestly, if
like
there's
so, it's
anything
so
you ever need,
comforting to
just
know
let
when
me know.
another actor or a
Have a good night, Minny.
character is going through what you're going through, because it is very, very lonely to go through an illness.
Representation.
You know, it's like you feel so alone, even if you know, oh, there are lots of other people who are having open heart surgery or who are going through cancer. It still feels like I'm actually the only person in the world who's suffering
It's
like
needless
this.
to say,
And I think
didn't
that's
get any
why
sleep
we
that
watch
night.
movies and TV and
Tossed and
games and
turned, my
anime,
mind
because
swimming with
we're
thoughts about
really
Trace
connecting and relating
this
to
final
their
summer.
journey, and we're seeing how they're navigating
could things
either
like that
badly
really
or with
happen to
grace. And
people?
it's like, oh my gosh,
It could have just as
I'm
easily
bonding
been
with
me.
them. I think actually
I
I think
felt
we
a
need that.
strange
I think it
sense
can be
of
cathartic for an
survivor's
actor to do
guilt.
that kind of
Why was
character, and
my
very
heart normal?
cathartic for an
Even
audience
though I'd
member or a
only just
listener to
met
hear
Trace,
you know, other characters going through that as well. So I don't think it's a silly or you know, I think it's you know, a good idea. I think it can be healthy.
Thing to do.
That is beautifully said. Well said, Chloe.
Definitely. Thank you, Chloe.
I adore this monologue here from Melissa. This is pure empathy. That's something else that's important with this show.
The steady beat of my heart. And wept.
I think I actually started crying after that.
Why? I know, right?
Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah.
But isn't it?
Crying
Imagine someone with a terminally ill condition watching this and just hearing the voice of Minny going, "That is unimaginably sad," and them just going, "I feel so seen and so heard and so understood." Like, how healing is that to feel seen? You know,
It's summertime.
That is so true.
You can
So
do
something that I
whatever you
thought
want.
about when
Feeling okay,
doing
Minny?
the
You look
scene where
tired.
everything is revealed
Let me check your
is
temperature.
how many times Trace has had to say that.
Didn't get much sleep last night.
Because
Right.
there's no doubt that
Dog
Minny
started
isn't his only
barking out the
friend.
window.
There's
And
probably
then I
more
went to
people
give him
that
some
he's had to
bologna.
explain this to, and if
One
he's
thing
gone
led
through this
to
whole
another,
spiel,
and
God
I
knows
saved
how
the
many
guy
times at
from
this
the
point,
ocean.
he's probably tired of it.
It's
I
a
remember
long
in my
story.
other
Goodness
takes that we
gracious.
did for
Are
it,
you being
I
serious?
tried to sound a lot more
Oh,
angry
Minny, please
and kind
tell
of
me
Yeah.
like
you're kidding.
I'm
upset
not
at
surprised.
having to do
She
this
was on the
again
swim
and
team
again
a
and
few years
again.
back.
There was a terrible
Yeah, he
Kinda
even
feels-
says,
storm
I
last
get
night.
tired of being
I
that
never
kid,
dreamed
you
you
know,
were
the
up
one.
in it. Why didn't you wake us
It
up?
kind of feels just like how
I wasn't
I was trying
exactly
to
planning
emphasize
for
the whole
things to
like
go the way they did.
when the
Just
first
kinda happened.
thing happened in the
Anyway,
incident
that
in
guy
the
I met
basketball thing. I was
yesterday
trying
couldn't
to
swim, so it's good I went. My
encompass the
first night
whole
back
like
in Cerulean
issue
was
of him
certainly
freaking out,
eventful.
getting lost,
Say
confused,
that.
scared,
Well,
and
we're just glad
almost
you're safe,
like
little lady.
trying to figure out what's going on,
And,
kind of stuff like
you
that.
know,
Yeah, I remember when we
reminds me
did
of
your
our,
session, Philip. I said,
midnight
like,
swim
no
for
pressure, but
Sunday.
basically the entire show boils down to this moment with you.
AKA
Yeah.
all the
You
pressure.
did it to yourself, old man.
Oh man, Philip, pressure.
Yes,
You know,
he nailed it.
one thing I love about
See you
Trace
later.
is you can hear this
I need to
weariness. He's so
recalibrate.
young, but he's got
Yeah.
he's you know, looking death in the face has aged him, and there's this weary, like the stages of grief and loss. And I think he's at the stage where it's like acceptance. He's probably had rage and had anger and had bitterness,
Meals to go have
and
been a
now he's
staple
like
for the better
just
half
in a
of my
state of
life.
like
When you're
acceptance
always
or
on the move,
resignation.
there's not much
I'm gonna
And
die in a
it's-
sitting
month.
down
That's
and
about it.
Yeah,
fashion
yeah.
family
And
meal.
it's so wonderful
The fact that
hearing,
I could count on
also
eating with my
sad and
grandparents
bittersweet
every
hearing
day
such a young
washed my
man with
spirit
who
with
could have a
comfort
potentially
so
amazing
foreign
future,
that it
who's
truly
just like
pained me to
waiting
skip
for
even
death, who's just
one
in a
breakfast
state of sort
together.
of burnt out acceptance. And I think that's it's just I love your performance on that. It was so so
Well,
well
Well, not
done.
to mention,
So well done.
I can't imagine
I felt like
Sandra
I'd
as a
survived a
character,
shipwreck.
like a
Wasn't
post-Cerulean Summer,
back
the
to my
bad
usual
ending,
self quite
if
yet.
Trace
Yeah.
does end up biting it before the end of the series,
Ouch.
having to lose her son as well.
Yeah.
which
Oh
I have
yeah.
to give you props
Shit.
The
because
ocean's
we don't
gonna
know
be a
each other
doozy,
very well, but
was
you
like a
make
hurricane last night.
such.
Once
It's so
the trace
believable
got
that
caught
you
in
could be my mom in
What
this
was
scene.
I doing down there anyway?
take that.
I love that protective feeling that Chloe
Absolutely.
brings.
I did have a
Yeah.
question for you, Blake, though. Like,
Yeah.
when you were going through it and everything like that, did you ever encompass or bring up any of the four stages of grief by any chance? Because that's what it basically boils down to, kind of.
Oh well, yeah. The
Enjoy your
right
breakfast,
after we
pal.
ended our call and we were meeting everyone,
Trace,
um, I thought real
hi.
long and hard about
Hi, Minny.
everything that I had learned about Trace at
I
that
was
point.
just
It was
about
through
to have
that
some
I think it
breakfast.
was like a
I
presentation
already had
of some
mine.
kind that we all
The weather's so good today.
watched
I
that
Yeah.
Keiko went through.
thought I'd take Portillo for
Um,
a walk.
And in the
this
middle of it,
particular
that was when it was
direction.
revealed that Trace had his heart condition, and I kind of just
Total
tuned out and was like,
Gotcha.
"Oh,
Well,
this is gonna
it's
be
good to see you again.
this is
So,
big. This is like
Yeah.
how are
the
you
series is
feeling?
nice and
A lot.
wholesome, and then you get the
Everything
bomb
okay?
dropped on you,
And
and you're like, "Wait, what happened? I was happy a moment ago."
Today?
On episode
Yes.
1.
I'm just gonna fall out.
You know, I'll just say something that Maria said in the chat, like
so sick of
this
people treating you
the
like that.
perspective on acceptance from the caretaker. I think one thing that's really hard that I've watched my parents walk through, because I've
seem
had
really
some
nice.
pretty awful
I
struggles
wish
in
we
my
could be
life, and I was
Right.
suicidal since I was 11. And I think sometimes it's so impossible feeling in this position when you're the one going through it. But I often put myself in my parents' shoes going, how much more powerless do they feel? You know, as parents, when you love someone so much and you want to like make them okay and make them better, but you can't. You're in this totally powerless position. And I think Sandra is she's struggling with acceptance. I think Trace has come to terms with it, more or less. I think he's still grieving, of course, as he would, but he's kind of come to a place of acceptance that it is the way it is. I think Sandra is the one who's like still in the stage of denial a bit.
Yeah, it's hitting her a lot harder.
Yeah, it is. There's just this powerless feeling that she's still fighting. She hasn't got to the plateau of acceptance yet. And yeah, it's really just a really great exploration of like grief on both sort of sides, you know.
I mean, no parent ever wants to outlive their child is the thing. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I love this scene. People have pointed out this is one of their favorite moments in the episode as well, when Minny hugs Trace. I think this is a big turning point for the show because we see the heavy stakes that we're dealing with basically. But Minny says, you know, who cares what anyone says? We're going to have the best summer ever. And no matter what happens, let's be best friends. And that is the foundation for the whole story. I love how this turned out.
You know, this scene is the most like me in real life because I am sort of delusionally optimistic about things, and I refuse to accept reality sometimes. So you called it.
That was the first photo I took with Trace. Oh, that reminds me.
Ooh, and this kind of we landed on a cliffhanger here, don't we?
We
do.
As every good first episode should. It should always end on a good cliffhanger.
Always.
I mean, they might be on a literal cliff on this island right now.
Maybe that's the shocking ending. They
Don't fall in,
accidentally
Tracy.
walk off the cliff.
Don't fall in.
Porco will follow you though.
He will. We'll get help.
And
Porco's
Charlotte will appear and cry for help again, so we're all good.
Yes. I cannot wait to explore Charlotte's character more in the next episode. So many secrets, isn't that right, Indi?
Come on.
My character doesn't do anything in times of distress. She either cries for help or
she just runs away.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out. Does she really?
I don't know about that one right now. I feel like you're hiding something from us.
Are you hiding?
Yeah, no. I'm gonna. Bye.
She's like, I'm gonna head on out. That's
this
funny.
First episode, titled Promise,
Exit
features the voice
stage
talents of Melissa Del Toro Schaffner.
I love how we decided to do the credits too. I really wanted to make sure I gave everyone full spotlight. Read the credits out one by one because it wouldn't have come to life without you.
My mom said that's what she appreciated. Edna's in the chat, by the way. She said that's what she really appreciated is that everybody got credit for their part, which is very rare these days.
That's true.
Portillo as Joey, Jack Whitchurch as the basketball shooting guard.
Yeah, we had so many people like Josh Portillo. We're good friends too. Brandon Barlow. So many.
Sarah Sefarion.
Josh Portillo, yeah. I'm in a crazy weird audio drama with him, and he's so good. He's scary good.
Josh is incredible. Like,
I can't imagine you two like in a show together, like in a scene together. That would be huge.
We were these two crazy news reporters together, like unhinged, sort of like Hunger Games level. It was really. Wow, I need to bring my A game around this dude. Wow.
Yeah. Josh brings out your A game just hands down, left and right.
He is A game. He's just walking A game. I hope he's listening to this. Josh, if you're there,
walking A game.
Other people discover the show.
You realize how much he aura farms just in general? Like, honestly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like 20 times more energy than the average person. It is just
crazy.
crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I was happy you read the credits, Keiko, because that was really beautiful. Like for you to put your voice in it. I loved that.
Oh, thank you. I know, because when we were first making the episode, I was like, am I going to have to voice Porco or something? I didn't know if we would be able to pull it off with sound effects.
I remember you did our table read.
Yeah. Every episode because we record together, I have to voice Porco because there aren't any sound effects available. So yeah, but I was thrilled how Porco feels like a full, complete character, even though he never says a word. Technically, it's all barking. So,
Dogs have turns too. Let's be real.
They've got personalities. Yeah.
I like how you circled him around me, like when he was annoying me. You were like,
sniffing you.
I love that too.
He's a Bichon because my mom wanted one last year, and I was like, we've got to put this in there. When I was deciding what breed of dog he should be.
He looks kind of like our dog. We have a fat Chihuahua.
Oh no.
Should I bring him in here?
Gosh, and that is our episode.
I'm gonna go get our fat Chihuahua real quick.
Yeah, get him. He needs a spotlight too.
He is my biological son.
What was that, Indi?
He's my biological son.
Biological son.
Yes.
Oh, that's sweet. So does he help you out sometimes with recording?
I have a frog, but they're nocturnal, so we can't bring them out. Their name is Kermit.
Sleep.
Right, Nick? I'm excited about the next episode, honestly. I can't wait to see the emotions and the connections and everything come out.
He's here!
Oh.
Look who's me!
Oh, tongue. I love how their tongues just sort of sit.
He can't lick forward. He just licks to the side.
Oh.
That is
He
adorable.
has no teeth.
Oh.
You have no teeth. Look at you, honey. You have no teeth.
I feel like
he's so
he could have
shy.
voiced Porco. Like you guys could just be one. You're just like you're an audio drama in and of yourself, right there in that little box.
I was about to say,
He's excited now. He's
easy.
excited.
It was thanks to Blake that we were able to get their recording set up really convenient so they could both have headphones. Because in the first episode, they were hovering over the microphone together.
And she and Melissa was having to like relay your directions to Indi. And
yes,
that's right. I remember that.
It was such a struggle, and then Blake was like, "Dude, you just need to do this," and it's like, "Oh, okay."
Hero, Blake
audio
to
engineer.
rescue.
Let's go.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, you said that if don't get me wrong, but Blake, you also said that you also did music also back as well, or do dabble in some music, don't you?
Sound design, I know he's really good at.
Sound design, yeah.
Sound design, okay.
That might be what you're thinking of.
Yes, yeah.
Absolutely.
There is an expectation for voice actors to know how to sing, of course. You know, it comes up a lot where there'll be auditions on voice casting sites and it's singing. And I'm like, you didn't
take 7 years of choir?
Well, actually, no, I holy moly, I'm no, it's funny. We do need to be triple threats, not dancing or anything, but we need to
But I can't whistle
all.
when I get those whistling auditions. No whistling. No
worries. If Minny ever needs to whistle, we'll take care of it in post.
Yeah.
God. Some of these auditions, I will say, are kind of weird. Like, I think today I had one where you had to like mouth chew and then actually physically do a burp, and I'm like, excuse you, what?
It's crazy what you're asked to do sometimes.
Yeah, burp on command. Go.
It's so fun. It's so fun. I said to my dad yesterday, I've been an Australian rabbit. I have been a British snooty posh owl. And they were singing this really weird song from Flight of the Conchords, which I think was just one big drug trip. I'm sure it was. And then I was reading like a medical narration for these words that I really had to Google and, listen back to a lot because anyway. And I was like, you know, and I said, Dad, you know, this is how I pay my mortgage. And my dad's a plumber, and he's like, well, I'd still rather clean out a septic tank and, like, you know, get into my wetsuit. And I'm like, well, I'm glad we're in our, you know, respective careers.
You transformed Chloe. I remember my family was shocked when I told them, yeah, Chloe's from New Zealand. This isn't her natural accent. And they were totally floored.
That's awesome. Was everybody good at voices from from childhood, or did you discover it like later? Keiko, can I ask that question? I guess I've already asked that question.
That is a wonderful question.
Great question.
Yeah, well, me specifically, me and my sibling, we've always played characters and voices. So I think I didn't realize it was voice acting, but definitely playing different characters, different ages, everything was definitely a part of me. But then when I started making stories like similar to this, that's when voice acting was kind of just, I had to do it because I didn't work with voice actors back then. And I really discovered I had a love for it. But what about you? Is it something you've always done?
Well, yes. And I used to I love to hear everybody, how their accents and how they talk and the music of their speech. And I would mimic my father a lot, and he would get really angry because he thought I'm always making fun of him. Like, because he kind of sounded a little bit like Ricky Ricardo, like not to be like rude or anything, but he hated that. He hated, and I was like, Lucy, you know, like, and I thought it was beautiful. I loved it. I would mimic everybody. And so he would always just be like, why is it that when you're talking, you talk like this? But then when somebody else is talking, and I was like, he didn't understand that I'm just making all the voices. I loved it. I did the Barbies. It's always been part of me. And I didn't even know I could do this until I was like, you know, established in my career. And then I'm like, hey, I actually am really good at this. Like, I love voices. So yeah, it was later, but I was always good at it. So thanks.
I mean, with me specifically, I was from a very young age, I was a Disney child, Disney born, shown all the Disney movies. My favorite movie was actually Aladdin. Robin Williams, may he rest in peace. But everything about that, I would always just watch all these different movies, all the way from like Aladdin to Hercules to Beauty and the Beast to all of these other ones, and try to just parrot the voice actors, try to parrot what they were talking about, how they were speaking, what the vocal tones were. And I didn't know it until later down the road, but I was inadvertently kind of practicing my vocal range at that point from a very young age, and going into choir, learning all the how to breathing techniques, different warm-ups. That kind of just also propelled that forward to when I was 16. They were like, you should become a voice actor. I'm like, yeah, right. Like I would ever do that.
And here you are.
Well, here you are. Okay.
It's interesting hearing about how a lot of voice actors get into it that way, mimicking and impressions. And then when you actually become a voice actor, everyone's like, do not do impressions, do not do mimicking. We don't want it. Yeah. And I'm like, well, it's the birthplace of voice actors. So I do think we are creatures of, we're kind of herd. We've got the herd mentality. We want to sort of fit in. We've got this, hive mentality, whatever. So it is cool being able to become another person and to sort of mimic and make impressions. And then you have to, if you want to become a proper established voice actor with your own voice, I think the discovering your own voice is a huge journey. Like, it's a huge journey. I think it's ongoing for all of us. Yeah. But I think certainly for me, drama school, they were like, strip all these weird voices you're doing off, Chloe. Like, strip it off. We want to hear you. Like, what is the real you? And they had some pretty unhealthy and not great ways of getting to that point. Oh my gosh, I think drama school is just extremely traumatic. But anyway, it is. I needed therapy for years after drama school.
Drama in drama school? What?
I know, crazy, right? But hopefully we all get to this place of going, yeah, I don't need to hide behind another person's voice. I've got my own authentic voice, whatever that is. It's an amorphous kind of thing. It's not necessarily a sound. It's more like a soul that comes out of our particular vocal cords. And then marrying that up with these characters who are so different to us is another sort of skill set, like having your authenticity and then a squeaky vocal tone plus another accent, but still having authenticity. I think it's really
difficult.
It's
very, very
I think
difficult.
voice actors are just on another level of magicianship. The really amazing ones.
You kind of have to be a chameleon, but then you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to have the ability open to be a chameleon.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna use that.
Exactly.
Well, I've also heard, that a bad impression is a good original voice.
You just have to
yeah.
You just have to have it available.
Yeah. Exactly.
Totally. Absolutely.
Like
And I think a chameleon is such a perfect analogy because they change their skin, but it's still their skin. Like they actually never change their skin. It's just a different shade, but it's still their skin. Sorry, keep going, Indi. I interrupted.
It's fine. I was saying, like, you have to have that available in case they're like, yeah, can you do this accent? Like, and it's really not whatsoever close to your natural voice, but you still have to be able to do it.
Yeah.
If you really want that role or like you want to like audition for it, you still have to.
Yeah.
You have to have it available. If you get the right auditions, you're never going to really use it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But it has to be available for sure.
And that comes with training, practicing, taking classes, and above all else, like taking classes is a very fantastic way to learn these different accents, learn these different dialects, learn different techniques that you can use. But at the same time, though, you should not let all those stuff cloud on like what Chloë was talking about, or who you really are, what your true voice is. It's nice to keep all of that together and everything, but having it change your natural voice, your more believable voice, that's kind of where a lot of voice actors I've seen kind of fall into a pit a little bit.
Yeah, it's called giving like the sound of the voice but not a character. So a lot of people who are just starting out voice acting are giving like a sound. They're listening to their voice and making sounds with it, but they're not actually giving you a character that you're like, oh, I know that guy. And I think when my voice coach shifted me from like, I brought him a bunch of demos that I liked that I thought were really amazing. And when he listened to them, he was like, ugh, like, what are these? And I was like, what? They're good. And he was like, I don't hear any characters. These people are just talking in voices to themselves. They're not talking to anyone. You don't even know who this is. You don't know why they're saying what they're saying. And I was like, and when I heard that, I just totally shifted. I was like, yeah, they are just talking in voices. They're not a character. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why when we recorded our first episode, I mentioned how we're going for realism here.
Yeah.
And so this isn't an anime or a cartoon. I really wanted to just feel like we're just recording life, moments in life.
Yeah.
So
it's really interesting. There's this amazing coach out there, Tina Marasco. She's got like a year long wait list to coach with her. But she talks about the fact that a lot of voice actors are doing really well at pretending to talk to someone and pretending to be conversational, and you can always hear it. She says you've got to really talk to another person in your imagination, alone, in your booth, And I struggle with that. I still do. It's a goal, a life goal to nail that authenticity. But in the live directed session, again, so much acting just happens automatically because, Blake's there as Trace, and I don't have to pretend to talk to this, pretend son when I'm just looking at my black and white page. I can actually have another living being, not an AI, like a living soul, who's had a life experience, and just the magic that comes out of it that you just can't really, even very talented people, you can't just make that up when you're on your own. When another living person is there, they're there. And, it's like, I think that's,
recording together as a group is so amazing. I love it when that happens.
Maria says she talks to herself a lot and that counts. So, I mean,
yeah. I mean, that counts a lot for sure.
Especially because actors have a lot of different people living inside of them.
Yes. That's right. We've all got different sides of ourselves. It's like we're a prism, and it's like what side of ourselves do we want to reflect the light in that moment? I think for all of us, whether we're, I mean, I'm like I said about Sandra, I'm not a mother, and I often think I'm quite a people pleaser and I'm quite a squishy person. But then I go, actually, no, I've got a
Squishy,
but then I just I know that there's a stony part of me as well. There's like a bold, stony part too. And it's just going, I'm just going to embrace that rather than deny. Oh, no. This persona of Chloë Elmore doesn't have a stony part. No. I'm like, actually, I do. I've got my own bitterness and resentment and walls and protective layers up. And I might as well embrace that, and channel that. So I think we do. We've got these different sides. And sometimes it can be really, when we are channeling an ugly part of a character, it can be really hard to kind of embrace that about yourself and just, put that to good use almost. Yeah. Embrace my CEO. That's right. My hard-nosed CEO.
Stone Cold Chloë is what they called her.
We're going to update your branding, Chloë.
It's kind of like you're a house and you're talking to the people inside you.
I love that.
That's right. It's funny because there was an anime. I think it was So I've Been Turned Into a Spider, So What? Where it literally had all the different personalities in a round table aesthetic and communicating with each other on who to bring out first or who's going to be better at what. And there's a magic person of her, there's the fighting person of her, there's the logical person of her, and just all of those discussing on what to do. That kind of stuff was is almost what I feel like most voice actors will go through every time they get an audition or when they hit the booth, when they hit the live directed session. Which part of me does the director or does the casting director want is the thing.
It reminds me a bit of Inside Out. I haven't watched the second movie, but I think a lot of it is around we need to accept all those parts of ourselves. There's an anxious part, there's a controlling part, there's a joyful part. And I think if one of those parts is not fully embraced on some level, then we're going to be, we're going to, I guess, struggle. I think that's when I find that accepting myself as I am and all the parts of myself can be really hard. And I can try to fake acting. You can hear it if I'm not fully embracing that part of myself. You can feel that I'm trying to put that whatever resentful or anxious part of myself at a distance and that I'm just trying to fake it. And it's, you can totally hear that. The microphone picks up every lie, every little lie.
That's true. Maria says here, which is a really good point. So a lot of these dubbing projects that are another language that they've already made a choice about how this line is going to be emoted, especially in video games. And then you have to use the voice, this voice, but then you have to emote in such a way that it follows the native language, but not really because you're speaking in English. So that's anime is really hard because of that.
Really hard.
It's kind of like that sound there. When you're talking about video games, though, it's kind of like a 50-50 because you don't know if the video game is being translated or being dubbed in all the languages at the same time. From what one of my coaches said is that when you get those video game auditions, they only have a scene for the character specifically that they want you to audition for, and the game is probably maybe 60-70% of the way done. And if it's a JRPG that they're dubbing into English, then that kind of anime style dubbing and the dubbing and redubbing and making the same choices or better choices than the original actor did, that's probably comes into play. But most of the time with video games specifically, they will have allowance for you to just play with the character, make the character your own, and make those choices that that 500 people may have done before, or make the one choice that no one has done before. So it's kind of what you see the character as. And from what I was told too, is that you should never be afraid to add dead space. You should never really have a feel to need to add in something in dead space, because sometimes in situations, for example, dead space can build tension. So it's kind of just knowing what your tools are, when to use them, and how much of it to use,
Yeah,
essentially.
choices.
Yeah.
Mm,
Agreed. And
mm,
sometimes the sweetest people are the best at playing villains. That's why, because Blake
mm.
gets cast as villains a lot, which is hilarious because he's a
I
cinnamon.
do.
Oh, really? You do?
Yeah.
It's either
Blake,
villains or
you're so
like the
nice.
traditional stoner. I don't really know what's going on.
I swear, Blake, like, are we not doppelgangers or something? Like, because I've been casted as 3 villains not so long ago.
Well, 'cause
What?
There's
We're learning something new.
yeah. So I get the full range of villains, really, for the most part.
It's just so fun to play the villain. Come on.
It is, but also I like
Yeah.
being nice sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
I want to be the goody
totally.
two-shoes. It's like, I have friends with my power.
Yes.
But the
Thank
goodness,
you, Maria. I'm glad I'm a good villain.
the goodness is what makes the passion of the anger and the you know the fury.
Conviction.
Yeah, it's like it's the same thing, just the other side of the coin, you know? So like it's easy when you're really good to just be like, people always think that I'm happy. I always have to be happy. Why do I always have to be happy? You know, and then it's like the other side of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I actually want to hear what your side of the like with your villains and everything like that. Do you kind of feel like, do you go back and forth with yourself, Blake, when you're doing that kind of stuff and being like, oh, you know what? You know what would really tick me off if I was the good guy? Basically, this.
Oh, so I don't really get to do that with my villains because there's 2 I can talk about. There's 1 I can't talk about yet.
Mhm.
Which is obviously James Carmayer from the video game Urbano Legends debut, and then a very small like side character in a game called Deserter. Ralph, who, oh my god, that guy! I would not want to be left in a room with that guy. I think I would probably kill him. But it's like so ridiculous. It's funny, and it doesn't even loop back around to being evil. It's kind of like, well, I guess kind of. It's like, for those who have played Undertale, it's kind of like how Papyrus first comes off as evil and weird and like, man, I'm gonna get you, human. And then it's like, oh, he's actually a sweetie pie. It's kind of like that with James, but with Ralph, it's like, oh, okay, he's just incredibly depraved, and he should be left in a room alone for a long time.
Because
he needs a little time out.
But they don't really interact with the heroes much outside of that.
That's sad because some of the stuff that I've done before, like recently it was Morgana and Oz. I was Neil for that one specifically in the Webtoons novel. And then I'm also like I can't say this one, but I'm also another villain that I'm just like it's incredible to know that like how like what do I need to do to take off the hero, the good people, to actually come in and give them a reason to stop me or to give them a reason to attack me. And having that like back and forth with me specifically, it really helps out with the like what Chloe was saying, the authenticity of delivering the line specifically.
I love that angle. Trying to figure out what would really make the hero kind of get worked up. That is a wonderful angle.
It's really interesting, isn't it? I've often wondered why most voice actors, almost every voice actor you'll ever ask, would rather play a villain than a hero. You know, and I've often gone, what is it about us? Are we just are we just sadistic? Are we extremely broken and cracked? You know, yes is the answer, probably. Why are we doing this, right? If maybe I would be a plumber if I wanted to just explore the hero journey my whole life. You know, my dad's a hero, so whatever. But there is something I'm like, I want to be a good person in my life. I really want to be a good person in my life. I so badly want to be a good girl. I have a huge guilt complex about things that I do. And maybe that is the reason why, because as a villain, I don't have to feel guilty about exploring the darker sides of myself, because actually in real life, I would never, ever be able to live with myself if I did even a smidge of the things that a villain does, the cruelty and all that kind of thing. And I wonder if it is just me trying to be like an integrated person and looking at the dark sides of myself and maybe in a more accepting way, or I don't understand it because it doesn't seem healthy and it doesn't seem right and it doesn't seem good, it seems, but it's everyone I've ever talked to. No one wants to be the hero. I love that Blake said that he likes being sweet characters too, because I'm like, yes, thank goodness there's one person who wants to enjoy the sweet characters too. But yeah.
That is so funny.
Realistically speaking, I would also love to be the hero, but I think it's just some of the, like what you were saying, just letting loose, like the fact of like no guilt, you're guilt free, and incorporating that darker side of you and just letting it loose. There's just something about it that's just fun, I guess. And it might be dealing with some of like the id and the ego kind of stuff like that, where it's just like you have the like little angel telling you, no, don't do this, and then the devil being like, do it, kind of stuff like that.
And like Daniel said in the chat, that every villain is a hero in their own story. I know that at drama school, I would have these real moral objections to the villains, as you should. As an actor, you do need to go, this person is objectively evil. Possibly evil incarnate. They might not have much good. There'll be a bit of good, but they won't have much, maybe. And it's really hard then to put your judgment back. At drama school, and this was like, 14 years ago, drama school was, or whatever. 10 years ago, whatever. We were told that you will be showing your judgment of your villainous character if you have it. You have to park your judgment and just go, how can I resonate with this person, and just see from their eyes what has happened. If I know nothing about their backstory, I need to create their backstory to show that there's a reason why they became so black and so evil. And I think that can be, because they're, even if they're a stylistic acting and like larger than life, slightly unrealistic, cartoony even, there's still a real person who's gone through real pain and real trauma to have twisted them so much. And maybe I like to think maybe a hero is even more complex. They had the path, the crossroads to become the evil person with their life experience and their own pain, or they've decided, no, I'm going to overcome the evil. So I think maybe a hero is potentially not vanilla and beige, but even more complex because they've chosen the harder path, which is to forgive. It's always easier, way easier to be bitter and resentful and judgmental. The gravity is always on the side of that darkness. And it's harder to go, I'm going to forgive. I'm going to forgive these people who wrecked my life and hurt me and hurt the people I love. And yeah, big thoughts anyway. It is lots to explore. You can see what I do when I'm not auditioning. I'm just thinking about these deep things in life,
I'm waiting for your autobiography. So.
It's interesting because when I was playing off of Sandra, when Minny was playing off of Sandra, I really did feel like the villain, like I did something wrong, and like I was like, but I was so well intentioned. How did trying to save somebody turn into something wrong? How did giving hope to somebody turn into something wrong? But it's interesting whose eyes you see it through, that I could be the villain in Sandra's life because I'm taking her son away, this precious time that they have to spend together. Now this bee is coming into the picture and taking him off, So, yeah.
Perspective and choices. That's what it comes down to, isn't it? So deep.
And, and my mum, she's watching, since I was starting to watch a lot of Japanese anime in the last 2 years, I suddenly somehow cottoned her onto live action Chinese drama, and she's just obsessed with it. But we have regular conversations because the Chinese voice actors, they've got some very, very heavy roles that they play, and they so get into it. And they're recording long seasons, 50 to 60 to 70 episode seasons, all like an hour or 2 hours each. And and she was just saying, she's like, Chloë, she's like, I'm seeing these Chinese actors and then watching their personal lives. She goes deep into their personal lives, and she's like, their lives just start imploding when they're playing these dark characters or these characters who go through intense grief. And they, on like they fall in love with their on-screen actors, and then they have these sort of secret romances, and she said to me, it seems like acting is not acting, it's being. Whatever your character is going through, you do go through it. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I'm scared for you, Chloe. I'm like, now you realize that now, but
Keiko,
she's just
good job. Chloe's mom is scared for her.
Yes,
well done.
Mm-hmm.
She's
but
because
it's really
art. I think pretty much all art, whether it's writing or voice acting, it really teaches us a lot about empathy and putting ourselves into someone else's shoes, even for just a moment. It really kind of broadens our minds and perspectives, helps us understand the world around us better.
Well, that's so different than the narrative that's been pushed in, especially in the United States right now, that empathy is weakness. I think there's maybe a small portion of people who believe that, but they really believe that if you're woke or whatever these words that are emotionally charged, that you're weak. But it's in that weakness that we find our collective strength, because we are not, supermen and super women. Like, we are frail, and that's our strength, is that we are frail. That's our strength. We
got to hold on to that.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. It's not strength, it's weakness that binds us to each other. Yeah.
Yeah, something we all have in common.
It's funny because when you do have that vulnerability, that's when a lot of the actual pure, raw, like emotion that comes out of a character into the script comes out, essentially. Being vulnerable, letting like living in the moment, like you were saying, Chloe, like being these people, living in the moment, like spending like just 5 minutes in the character's shoes, and just with like Blake said, is saying like, how would I feel if I had like this whole like heart condition that I can't forgo. It's imagining that, living that, experiencing that, and imagining that, and just living in it is really where a lot of the emotional raw power comes from for a character specifically. And Blake did a fantastic job of that, honestly.
He did.
Well, thank you.
You did, Blake.
Imagine having to edit those scenes over and over, listening to those lines.
My favorite part of voice acting, and Keiko knows this, during all of our Friday sessions, is when you have a heart-to-heart with the script and record it, and then you just go, okay, was that one good?
Yeah.
Just screaming your lungs out, screaming bloody murder, you're getting stabbed, you're dying, and then it's just, okay, how did that sound?
That cracks me up every single time. Like, you'll scream your heart out, and it's like, or then you'll mess up in the middle of a line and you'll instantly drop the character, and it cracks me up.
Yeet the character.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was during our session too, when we were doing that one-on-one with Keiko specifically, that like I was screaming and doing all that kind of stuff, and like trying to get the like pain and utter like heart pain kind of stuff coming out, and I kept on peaking, and I'm like, I need to stop.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
You know what's worse is whenever you have this very emotional scene where the phlegm is building up in your sinuses, and you're starting, and then you're supposed to just sound clear after that. You're like, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, so then the next day, and your like sinuses are still filled with like nasty stuff. Like, that was hard part for me when I start crying, and then I had to like suck it all back in and sound clear again. Like, that's hard.
Because Minny talks the whole episode. We go from the emotional scene straight back to the narration where you're
like,
expected to be put together.
Okay, so next.
I'm bawling your eyes out too. And now,
And now for our next scene. Another day.
I think our voices also really do change. I was stumbling on some auditions that I did last year, just clearing out my hard drive. And I was like, wow, I'm a lot more raspy now. I had an agent recently who signed me to her roster, and she's like, do you like voice a lot of like non-binary characters or androgynous characters? And I'm like, I do voice quite a few androgynous characters because my voice, I think, is I've done so much damage to it after the last 3 years of so much screaming and crying and screaming and crying and screaming and crying that my vocal cords have changed, and now I've just got like a permanent sort of rasp. And so it's I haven't done well in like protecting my vocal cords, but yeah,
our voices do
But now
change.
you're sultry. Now you're
very sultry.
Now you're
I was
sultry.
like, my mom, she's like, Chloe, when you're in the house, just don't talk. We need to maintain your what does she call it?
Your vocal virginity.
She's like, the luxury read. You've got to like maintain your luxury read. I'm like, yeah, true. I've played some like bosses and some boss fights, and all it is screaming, screaming, screaming at the top of your lungs. And then I have to like sell like, La Roche-Posay skincare, so yeah.
Chocolate.
And I was with, I think I remember saying on our live session with when we recorded episode 1, I was like, I think I remember saying to Keiko, just gonna like try to take it easy because I'm really vocally fatigued. And then when I saw, when Sandra comes in, she's like, Trace! I was like, I'm just gonna
Your first line was literally yelling. So.
Stop the game! Stop the game! I was just, it was great. It was so great.
Good, and
It's
like,
worth
it.
Session
It was
as well.
worth it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna rest my voice for the rest of the day. I'm just gonna blow it out right now. Yeah.
Sandra
all
always
out.
uses her outdoor voice.
Get it all out.
Yeah. She doesn't have an indoor voice. Oh, except Stony.
Keiko.
Stone.
I have a question for you. Why did you choose a young and an old Trace, but not a young and an old Minny?
Oh, that is such a good question. Well, it's just one of those things, I just had that vocal tone in mind for Minny and how she sounded. And it just happened to be your natural voice. And I feel like Minnie's one of those people who will kind of always be the same. There's some people who you really do encounter in life and they sound the same way they did when they were 20, when they're 60. Like my mom always has sounded the same. And it's crazy, and so I just figured, I think Minnie's one of those people. And your voice already has that kind of ageless quality. So
Yeah, I definitely still sound. I listen back, and the only difference between myself and my younger self is I was just so much dumber. Not like intellectually dumber. Not intellectually dumber, but just like life dumber. Like I'd put up with things that I shouldn't be putting up with this. Like, oh, it's okay. It's fine. You can step on my face. It's fine. I'm fine. It's like, no, you're actually not fine. So, I think that's
that
the
is.
difference. Is like I felt like I was dumber.
You know what that voice is? It's your customer service voice.
It's my customer service voice.
But you're right,
Blake,
like.
Yeah, go ahead, Chloe.
No, you go with Blake.
Yeah, I was just saying, and then like in comparison with Blake, I really wanted to also really capture how young he was when this horrible burden was placed on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was more effective for him to really sound younger. Yeah.
The stakes
So
will be
you're
so
like-
much higher when you hear this. It's more vulnerable, younger. Totally.
Yeah. And it worked.
I thought it was a great choice, but I thought it was interesting because you age up Minnie for narration because she's older, but then she goes down. And then I think I don't know if she went any younger, but yeah, so that's really interesting. I think it was really effective choice, BTW.
Oh,
And
thank you so much.
I totally agree. Like the narration side, sometimes with voice acting, it's not a pitch thing or a tone thing. There's another quality. It might just be, she's got a different perspective now. The Minnie in the story is in the story and she doesn't know what's going to happen. So she doesn't have this, I'm going to tell you guys what happened and share this with you. She's like reacting. She's scared of Sandra. She's like, she's reacting. But the narration voice is going, I know what's happened. I've got this mapped out now and I'm just going to share it with you. Like there's a level of standing back and looking down with knowing the choices she's made, maybe more decisiveness as an adult. But her in the story was just like, there wasn't decisiveness. She was, nothing was known. It was all unknown.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
still don't know.
that is such a good point. Yeah, it's all up in the air. I always tell people when I'm working with them on narration that when you're a narrator, you kind of need to have that mindset of, I know something you don't know. And so there's just kind of that wisdom that you're holding something back as you're sharing it with someone. And so, yeah,
That's what I was
Melissa's
gonna say.
narration, it really makes the show. I just love that. And it's not easy to transition from, 16-year-old Minny to the narration Minny. But
Yeah.
she does it beautifully.
Narration in itself is just really hard to do. It's because it's like everyone says, like you have to be basically omnipresent, but also deliver that like vocal warmth of like I'm telling a story. Like it's just telling a story of what happened, and hopefully you listen to it as well. So
yeah, like you're not reading, like you can't sound like you're reading, and it's so easy to sound like you're reading it, and so it's almost like you have to be reading from here. You have to be reading from here, when you're doing it, because if you're reading from here, you can hear that. So that's why I was always forcing it, like force it out of the heart, because that's where it's coming from. This story.
I often, when I do narration, I go, I'm just probably sitting in a big armchair telling another person who's also sitting in a big armchair. We've probably got these huge big cups of green tea, and like I'm sharing a story, and they're just a captive audience. They're not going to interrupt me unless it's occasionally, but I'm just going to it's more like sharing, I suppose, in a warm sort of storyteller way. Maybe there's a crackling fire, but it's less reading. It's more I'm going to share something from my own heart that isn't rehearsed. And I mean, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's totally
totally.
hard.
And I think Indi did a really, really great job with taking the script and just emoting out the urgency of it. Because I was like, I did not teach her that. I didn't teach her anything. Like she's
gifted.
She's been reading and listening and everything. And I didn't have to be like, be excited. Now be scared.
Well, I skipped second grade too, so
Indi actually had a question for you. Like, when you were going through this and doing all the voice acting thing, what was going through your mind? Were you just playing like kind of like playing pretend, or what was your thought process on those like characters, basically?
Well, I was really not thinking. I'm gonna have to say I wasn't really thinking of what I was saying. I was just kind of reading it.
You're very intuitive with your acting. I can definitely say that. Whenever we record, it's very intuitive. It kind of reminds me of DeBay Chase when she did Spirited Away. Because she was just a kid when she did that as well. And I remember them saying how she's very intuitive. And sometimes people are like that. Kids especially, I think, are very intuitive when it comes to acting a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But
sometimes as we get older, we're kind of having to get back to that rawness.
Unlearn. Yeah, unlearn it.
Sometimes though, a lot of kids can't really read with emotions.
Yeah.
Though, like some, like as you were saying, like me, can be very intuitive and like actually like they can do it in one take and be good, basically. But others, like a lot of kids I know, would probably struggle to imagine a voice in their head. I could never relate since I imagine like
you have lots of voices in your head.
Basically, I think in animations.
Yeah.
So whenever, like, if I'm listening to something and somebody's relaying an experience they had and like talking about it, I would be imagining that experience in my head. But like, wait, I can draw the type of like little guy I'm thinking of.
She's gonna draw it for you. Now we know we're in serious territory when she starts drawing what she's thinking.
But
yeah, Indi is an artist.
With that being said, just having that like raw instinct to just go into the booth and be like just know what you want to do and imagine the story and playing in your head. That's really hard for a lot of voice actors to do, especially when you said like you say that you weren't thinking, and that's also a very difficult
amazing
skill. It's really just to shut off your brain and just to relay whatever comes off come out is great.
This is the type of guy I'm thinking of whenever I imagine scenarios.
I love it.
Oh, I love that.
I just think of a bunch of them like whenever somebody's talking about like them and their friend, I imagine one of those, but them, and then just one of those next to them as their
Keiko, it
friends.
looks like a sprite. Didn't it look kind of like a sprite?
Oh, it does kind of look familiar, doesn't it?
So people are going to find out something new pretty
Oh my
soon.
gosh. Yes, stay tuned for episode 2 because there's something going on in this town.
Something going on in this town.
I love it.
May or may
I
not have
love
something to
it.
do with it.
I love it.
Well,
Love it.
Oh, wow.
we'll have to get Indi's work somehow into the visual version. Mhm.
What if Maria says she has aphantasia? Does anyone struggle with this? What is that? I don't know what that is.
What is aphantasia?
Wait, I can look it up.
Somebody here's got to know.
It's something, I remember she discussed this with me. It's something about how you can't visualize. Like everyone has an imagination, but you
Like
can't
you can't
visualize.
picture it inside your head. You see no pictures. You can't.
Exactly.
Oh,
I could never relate.
yeah. She's built on pictures.
So I think I might have that because I don't know, like I can see some of the imagery a little bit just on a slight level, but when it comes down to dreaming at night, like I don't have dreams. And I literally fall asleep, wake up the next day. It's like a blink, and I don't know when it happens, when it starts, and it's really hard for me to actually dream anything. So
That's so lucky
interesting.
though, because I can lucid dream where I can control what I'm doing inside the dream once I realize I'm dreaming. Yeah, it's like I remember all of it and I wake up exhausted sometimes.
Do you ever have sleep paralysis?
Do I ever have what?
Sleep paralysis?
I don't know. I guess not because I don't know what that is.
It's good. It's good if you don't know what it is.
It's fine if you don't have it.
Okay. I don't. I don't.
I know what it is.
What is it? What is it?
Basically, it's where you cannot move. Like,
Okay.
you can't do anything, but you wake up in the middle of the night and there's like some sort of figure.
Oh.
Yeah, they call it sleep paralysis demons, actually.
Wait, I
don't have that.
I could look it up. I don't know if you want
Sleep
that.
paralysis is basically something where in the middle of the night you wake up from a dream, but your brain, and even though you wake up, your brain still triggers the emotion and triggers your body to be that it's still in the dream, so it's paralyzing you so you don't move essentially and hurt yourself.
Wow, I don't have that. No.
It's just I don't have it, but I know that it's just a vivid hallucination of like a monster. I mean, the type
I've actually
of
experienced it before.
You did. What I mean, like, what was that like? That's
very
scary.
creepy. It's actually what made me stop watching Ghost Adventures because I loved that show. But I noticed that I would have that experience more often when I was watching it. I think it also, I used to sleep on my back back then. And I think that is when it happens most commonly is if you sleep on your back. So.
Interesting. No, I don't know. I don't have that. That sounds crazy.
I haven't had it in years, but yeah, it like you're awake, but you're like, move, arm, move, and you can't move your.
You can't.
Yeah.
No matter what you try to do, it just does not move.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. Is that related to ghosts, Keiko? You love to talk about ghosts.
Oh, you say so. I don't know.
I don't know. Sleep demons, ghosts, what?
Aww.
Something weird's going on in this town.
Something kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know if some of you saw the YouTube short that kind of hinted at that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh my god!
Oh, I'm so excited for more to voice more and to join with you guys in more live directed sessions. And these interviews we're doing as full cast interviews and like live streams, so fun. It's like family reunion every single time.
Yeah,
I might need to pop off soon, you guys. But it's been really, really fun being a part of this and interacting with everyone and watching and listening as well online. So cool.
Yes, I want to thank everyone.
Here, I'm gonna have to wake up early too. So
yeah. So everyone, thank you for joining us. We'll be posting updates about our upcoming episodes soon. And so, is there anything each of you would like to say to the viewers before we sign off for tonight?
Go ahead, Indi.
Take it away, Indi.
I'm really excited for episode 2 to come out.
It's
I
a
want
big one.
everybody to watch it.
She said watch episode 2.
I'm actually really excited for it to come out.
Yeah, she's been like clamped down because you learn a lot more about Charlotte in
There's
episode 2.
There's not a lot I can say about episode 1 and about my character, and episode 2 there's a lot more. And so I'm just like, I can't really say much usually in these interviews because there's nothing to talk about besides like they're all spoilers. And I'm just like,
yeah, I've been telling her.
Still in the bag.
Yeah, definitely tag along with us on the journey. We're grateful for anybody who came tonight on the live, but if you're watching this after the live is over, we appreciate you, and we just are so grateful for your eyes, your ears, your heart, and please continue this journey with us. I'm sure Keiko will do a lot more of these, and you can catch one if you didn't catch this live tonight. But thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
For everyone who's watching Cerulean Summer and watching the series, please watch it all the way through. They're fantastic. All the efforts from all the voice actors and all the efforts from all the audio engineers and all the efforts from all the artists have come together to make this fantastic story that Keiko imagined. So I'm like,
humans,
cannot please
humans, yay humans,
Yay.
yay humans.
That's what it's all about. Blake, you want to go ahead?
I mean, what hasn't been said already? I mean, maybe the next time we do one of these, we'll have our Leo with us as well.
We will.
And also Grandma and Papa.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, they weren't able to join us this time.
Yeah,
they'll definitely.
They are so crazy awesome. They look just like their characters in real life. It's real creepy.
It's insane. The whole cast looks like their characters.
Yeah. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, you guys, for coming along and like being a part of this. And certainly, if you're like watching after our live stream, if you're watching the recording, I really hope that you enjoy it and that we've left you guys with some interesting things to like think about and talk about. And I guess if I want to say anything, I want to say like what we were saying before: vulnerability, please, empathy, love, compassion, grace, and true love, you know, and true kindness for each other. And yeah, I think especially to ourselves, I think we can't give out what we do not have in our own lives. And so, yeah, I think please spread more of the love and compassion and empathy and goodness into the world. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I'm so glad we're sharing a story like this with the world. I think it couldn't be better timing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, everyone, thanks again for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on the next stream.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.